I would urge you, there are two things I'd urge you to look at, and I hope that you can support. One is the Common Core Standards Initiative. This is an initiative that 48 of the 50 governors and chief state school officers, national state boards of education, a number of local boards are now looking at it. Chief State School, Council of Greater City Schools, local school board officials are supporting, which is to adopt common standards that start with the definition of what's college and career ready at the high school level and work down through each grade for English, arts, and math. Not for anything else, English, arts, and math. These would be internationally benchmarked, and what that could then lead to is it could also lead to, because states are now working in two consortia, West Virginia is participating in this, to develop common assessments around it. We spend $1.3 billion in this country on assessments. Is it not a little crazy that West Virginia is developing its own set of assessments while North Dakota is, and so on? You know, 4 New England states actually joined together, and now have been doing their own assessments, K3 to 8, and I think 1 in high school. For a number of years, 15 states have developed a common Algebra 2 assessment. So I would just urge you to watch this Common Core, and it's particularly significant because this year West Virginia hit the this will depend upon the leadership that's been provided by the National Governors Association, the Council of Chief State School Officers, of which Steve Payne is a member, and the National Association of State Boards of Education, of which I think Dr. Priscilla Hayden's the chair now. But why did West Virginia hit the trifecta? Because 3 heads of these organizations this year, Governor Manchin will chair the National Governors Association, Steve Payne already chairs the Council of Chief State School Officers, and Lowell Johnson of the West Virginia State Board of Education chairs the National Association of State Boards of Education. So when you're deciding national policy, you can just go to the governor's office and convene the other 2, and you're talking to the 3 most influential national organizations as far as moving national policy. Second thing, ESEA, Elementary and Secondary Education Act. No Child Left Behind expired 2 years ago. Did a lot of good, I think, which I didn't think at the time when I was governor, so that's my second mea culpa. But its effectiveness has pretty much run its course. We know a lot more because of NCLB. We know a lot more what to do. We have a lot more research and practice into what works to turn low-performing schools around. Having said that, NCLB is now an instrument that desperately needs upgrading. I'd like to call it to show that I'm still young at heart. It's a compact disc in an iPod world, and so it desperately needs upgrading. And one of the things that needs upgrading is providing more flexibility to local boards of education to take the steps they need to turn around the low-performing schools, as opposed to having a one-size-fits-all mandated by NCLB. You've got if you have a low-performing high school in your district, you have one of 2 options to start out with, which is choice, sending them off to another school, paid for by Title I dollars, of which you don't get for high schools for the most part. And the second one is SES, tutoring. So you've got 2 options, none of which is really applicable. And on top of that, high schools only Title I, only 10% of Title I dollars go to high schools. So you've got 2 options that you don't have any money to use anyway. That's NCLB. And so better to have, in my book, a set of common core standards that the states have agreed to, not the feds, the states. And then we all understand what they are, and then we give the flexibility to the school districts on how to get there, and particularly targeting the lowest performing schools, the resources to do that. So that's, but now if ESEA isn't done in 2010, and it's a bit of a lift, I have to be honest with you, but if it's not done, we're all under NCLB. The stimulus package expires September the 30th. Race to the top, innovation funds, all of those things expire on September the 30th. And with it, those programs, many of which I think are useful, and that means we revert to NCLB. And we will be under NCLB. The doomsday machine keeps grinding, keeps rolling. And so that to me is, it's 2 years overdue. It's the one thing that Republicans and Democrats have always worked on a bipartisan basis in the United States Congress, and it ought to get done. So, anyway, I'm happy to